Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the Caddy. I'm not going to bore you too much, hopefully. I'm just going to swap this out. I'm not going to record it because we've already seen it done once before, but I've got a new caliper for this wheel. I've got a new disc for the back, so I'm going to bang them on quickly. I'm going to get the car, get the brakes bled, get my words out, and I'm going to start it up and give it a drive. I've got a brand new battery for it, so fingers crossed all should go well today. So yeah, let's get started. Right, calipers on, back on, replacement caliper, quick coat of red. Had a bit of an issue winding it back, so I had to get it in a vise. That's what the little scuffs of paint are, but it's on. New pads, obviously new disc, same on the other side. Sorted. Now let's start breathing the brakes again. I tried this the other night in my last video, and obviously this is when I discovered the problem with the with this caliper. So we're going to give it another go. Try and try and see if this works. I'm using one of these kits. I didn't show it last time. I'm using, come in it. So this is a little, as it says, one-man brake and clutch bleeding kit. So you sort of pop that tube on the end of the bleed nipple. There's like a vacuum in this tube, and it'll it'll bleed your brakes, and you'll be able to see through that tube if there's any air left. So you keep pumping until the liquid in that tube is clear with no air bubbles, and then you know you've done one side, and you move on to the next side, next side, next side. Always start from sort of you need to start when you're doing this traditionally the furthest away from your master cylinder. So my master cylinder's on the front driver's side of the car in the engine bay. So we'll start with this one, we'll do the other side, front left, and then lastly front right. Alright, bear with me. Right, so that's where the brake fluid goes into. If I take that lid off, take that out of the way. Pretty empty in there at the minute, as you can see. Funnel, just to save a bit of mess. It does fit just about. Funnel in there. Get some fluid. Now we're going to obviously pump a lot of this straight out of the system. The van shouldn't take more than a litre, but we'll see. Right, lid off. Pour that in there. Ooh, a little bit of an overflow there. Keep going until this is sort of almost at the top. That'll do for now. Put the lid back on that. I'm just going to jack the front of the van up as well. Get all four wheels off the ground so I can just whip through and do it all. There we go, there's one side done. So that's nice clear fluid in that tube, no air bubbles inside. So once that's done, and it looks like that, just come around the back, you do your valve back up. Nice and tight, but not too tight, because you'll end up with the problem I had last time. That's that. Pop this off. Very hard to do one-handed as everything is. Yeah, bear with me a second. That's the tube off. Pop that off. Pop that off. Like that. And put your little dust cap back on if you've got one. Now hopefully that won't leak out like it did last time. I'll move on to the other side. Alright then, brakes are on, caps back on, topped up, got a couple of wheels on. Just before I put the last wheel on, I need to pop these in, just get them out of my bag. Out 1, 2. So these are for the rear anti-roll bar. So I'm going to drop them in, put the van back on the ground, get all the wheel bolts tightened up nice. Got a new battery, so I'm going to replace this battery, drop a new one on, and hopefully start her up and give her a little drive around the yard. Let's get cracking. Out with the old, in with the new. I am going to get, I've got a battery box on order as well to neaten up the engine bay. Got an engine cover coming as well, so should get that nice and tidy. As you can see, the old one's a little bit smaller than the new. Decent brand. These vary in price, but one place will quote you 200 quid, one place will quote you 80 quid, so obviously went for the £80 one. Good brand battery. Obviously Bosch is a little bit better, but this is not big enough, and it's had it. I think some of the cells are dead in it. It'll run, but it won't hold any charge. So new battery. Just pop this on. Right, that's on and linked up. Moment of truth. Will it start on first key? Key in. Lights on. Oh, fantastic. A little bit rough. So let's see how many lights go on and off. Got a bulb out, engine management, airbag, ABS, traction control. That's a thermostat. That will get sorted out one day. That's been like that for 2 months. Okay, we're off. Feels all right. And it stops. Brilliant. A little bit of a knot from the steering. That's something I've got to investigate. That'll do for me for now. Now, I've just been investigating the cause of my knock yesterday, and I think I've discovered the problem. So this is part of the coil spring. I think this is the top bit and this is the bottom bit. So that's snapped off there, and because they weren't sitting in the hole properly, every time this was turning you could hear the spring was like knocking on the inside of that. Not ideal. I mean, the front wheel's not going to fall off, but it's definitely an MOT fail, so they will need to be replaced. I was going to put coilovers on the van anyway, so I think I'll probably be doing that next. There's no point me replacing one spring when I will be then in a couple of weeks' time replacing the whole front suspension. So I think the suspension on the van will be getting done very soon. We'll get that issue sorted out, and I'm going to carry on looking for some more. So just going to top the oil up. I shall sort of flush the coolant out, get fresh coolant in there. You might notice that the van is in a new location, so I brought it back home. We'll be moving again in a couple of weeks, but for now it's back at the flat, so I can give it a wash, I can hoover it out, and make a bit more progress.